All right, we're back, and I'm not gonna lie. I mean, maybe a fourth segment episode right here. I don't know. We'll see where it takes us. But yeah, so they're having this little like rehearsal for this parade they're putting together. Wow. And of course, in the background, you see that the dust coming up, and of course, there's like a huge windstorm. Because whenever this fucking car comes around, dude, like the shit hits the fan. Storm, like a dust storm comes up. Anyways, you see it from the back. It's almost like the fin, if you will. You see the fin coming, and dude, it comes right into the road. And the one line is, I'm laughing as I'm watching this thing. Is they're like, dude runs out there, get out of the road, get out of the road, and this reminds me of like, hey, get out of the water, get out of the water. It was literally it's fucking Jaws, right? Anyway, it's good stuff. I mean, and the thing is like. So I'm saying, like, for the first time I've seen this movie, it's the first time I ever watched it was, this past week. First time I've seen it, whole time I'm comparing it to Jaws. I check it out online, and dude, that's what everybody said. Like, it's not. I thought it was just me, but apparently, like every critic who's reviewed this, every person out there has made the reference to Jaws. Like, there's like, this is Jaws on wheels. This is Jaws on the road. This is Jaws fucking the car. It's Jaws, and but yeah, I mean. Once again, though, it was just an enjoyable film. Alicia, you're right, dude. James Brolin's fucking awesome. Like, I'm a big fan of Brolin anyways. But, yeah, I think he does really good here. Definitely the best of the actors in the group. Also has Ronnie Cox, which I didn't even do my research before I did this one. I know for a fact he was in Deliverance. I'm pretty sure he was like the police captain on Beverly Hills Cop. And don't get me wrong, he's probably done prestigious shit, after that, but that's just what I know him from. He was in this one. He did really good in his role, and then the girl, James Brolin's girlfriend. I don't know who she was. I didn't recognize her. I didn't write the name down. I don't remember who she was, but she did really good too. I mean, yeah. And this movie, it actually had more logic to it, I think, than Christine, because like in this one, like whenever I watch Christine, all right, like they see the car coming, they just run down the middle of the fucking road, all right. Like, I'm thinking if a car's coming up to me, like, I'm kind of chunky anyways, but I'm dodging behind shit, or I'm, at least going zigzag. No, they're running down the fucking road. Car behind them. They see the headlights. I mean, they can see the headlights in front. They know they're running. I mean, it's nighttime, but they're not blind because there's fucking headlights behind them. So they're just running. Like, I can outrun a car, and they get run over. Ridiculous. And I'm like, just fucking go in the house. Go upstairs. I don't care. Go somewhere. Well, in this movie... And once again, I won't drop it because fuck it. You should have seen it. Says the guy who just watched it like this recently. This girl's in her house. On the phone. Like, I'm scared. I can hear the car. Dude, the car flies. Like, it ramps, but like magically ramps because there's no ramp thing around it. It just flies, in, 4 feet off the ground, into the living room. Fucking plows right in. They're going to go out there in. It was great. I was like, oh, you're not safe anymore. Look at that. Look at that. Because this car is indestructible. Whereas Christine, you could damage, it would eventually pop itself back out, like it would fix itself, but it could be damaged. Whereas this car, you just couldn't fuck with it. Like they're shooting at it, you can't stop it. You cannot stop the car. That's all there is to it. Yes, loved it. The soundtrack was really cool, even though it was the same title track, but just altered from The Shining, which I'm a big fan of The Shining soundtrack. I said that last week or the week before last. When did I do Shining? I can't remember. Fuck it. Yeah, but when I did do it. I said, loved it. Well, it was like the same soundtrack here. It really was. It's great. One thing I thought was kind of interesting was, when I'm reading reviews online, you get a lot of people saying, like, you don't understand why this car is here. It makes no sense. Well, they don't explain anything. I'm like, isn't that why we love certain movies, though? Like, these same tricks will be like, Halloween was great because you don't know why he's, in town killing people. Alien's great because you don't have all the questions, or, all the answers to the questions. But it's like, you get a movie that maybe isn't that, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying this is anywhere on the level of those two films, but I'm like, you can't sit there and be like now, like, they don't explain anything. This is bullshit. No, it's a fun movie. Just take it for what it is. It's the car. Who went into the car thinking like, okay, here we go. Let's get the Academy Award nominations ready. Let's do it. No, it's the fucking car. It's a demon-possessed car. I'm guessing. I'm assuming it's demon-possessed. Like, it does kind of lead you to believe it is, like, at the end. There's an ending sequence when, they trapped it. They had a set trap for it. And it is kind of great because, like, this car outsmarts them every step of the way, but somehow it falls for this dumbass trap, which I would think, like, any car could, even any car that has the ability to think could not fall for this, but it falls for it. Anyways, when it blows up, like this weird demon silhouette comes out of it, and it's great. It really is. So yes, I definitely recommend the car. Good stuff. It also had. See, I almost signed off there on that one before I even got to it. The little girl who played Lindsay in Halloween. She's the little girl in this one. She plays like the youngest daughter of James Brolin. Small world. I ain't gonna lie, I did not recognize her. It was later when I read a review. They're like, yeah, it has Lindsay in it. I'm like, bullshit. Yeah. I looked at her like a picture. I didn't really quite recognize her again. But I looked at her filmography, and sure enough, it was Lindsay. So, yeah, small world. Small world. So, yeah, the car, definitely recommend it. Once again, I still like Christine's better. I did enjoy the car. Yeah, I'll say the car's better than Maximum Overdrive. Because Maximum Overdrive is another one of those that's just really, it's just cheesy fun. Like, you can't take it seriously. It was just a fun movie. So, yeah, the car, it's a good time. So, definitely recommend it. Thank you, Alicia, for recommending it for me. I would never watched it otherwise. Because I was kind of stubborn against it. I was like, fuck that movie. Christine all the way. But, yeah, I enjoyed myself. Really good stuff right there. So, yeah, there you go. Up next, we have Record. We're jumping fucking 30 years now. Well, 30 years, 2007 now. Record. Now, I thought it was Mexican, but it's Spanish. Even though they both speak Spanish, I just assumed it was like a Mexican film. So I don't want to offend, anybody from Mexico or Spain. That's my bad. But, you hear like a Spanish, horror movie, I'm thinking fucking Mexico. Sorry. It's not. It's across the pond over there. It's over there in Europe. But yeah, basic plot of this is there's a TV crew that's following around the firemen, and they take a call, and shit hits the fan. I watched Quarantine before I watched this one. I just watched this for the first time too. I did not like Quarantine at all. Like, I just did not like it whatsoever. There was something I liked about it. Like, there was I love Jennifer Carpenter, who played the lead. She was in Exorcism of Emily Rose, which I fell in love with her right there. But then she went on to do Dexter, which she's probably more famous for Dexter. And of course, she just does great in there. So, I mean, it had that going for it. And then I just like the concept that, at least in the original, in Quarantine, they try to make it sound like it's like a new strain of rabies. And I thought that was kind of neat, because, I mean, you can't keep doing zombies over and over. I like the idea of, like, this killer strand of rabies is making everybody go nuts. But that was it. Like, I really did not like the movie at all. This is pretty much, like, Quarantine was a shot-for-shot remake of Record. Like, there are some subtle differences, but for the most part, structure-wise, it's the same fucking movie. It goes, it's everything. I like Record better. I'm literally, as I'm watching it, I'm enjoying it more, and I'm trying to figure out, like, why do I hate Quarantine and like Record? And I ain't gonna lie, I have no answer for you guys. Like, I feel like I was probably just in a bad mood when I watched Quarantine. Like, I can just imagine I'm just sitting there doing this, like, this ain't fucking great. Yeah, nah. I was probably whining, or I don't know. It's hard to tell what was going through this mind while I'm watching Quarantine. Didn't care for it. Like, I gave it a very low rating. Like, I used to rate my Netflix and shit. It got like 2 stars, I think. 2 out of 5. Like, fuck this. This one I like. Once again, it is a shot-for-shot remake. Don't lie, not a lot of scares. Because usually with the found footage, I've noticed, like, I jump a lot more during found footage, and it's because it is a point of view kind of thing. Like, it's actually good found footage. They can set it up perfectly to where something's around the corner, and it could just, or you turn around and it jumps right there. So this one didn't have a whole lot of that going for it. But it was still a damn good story. Like, I just thought, like, the acting was better, which, it's Spanish, and I don't understand Spanish. I just felt like, I don't know, I like this, feel this one better. But then, like, like I said, the rabies thing was in the first one. This one, it could have been rabies, I guess, but they don't quite come out and say that. And there's almost like because I don't want to give anything away, because, this is more of a recent movie. Even though it ends the same way, there's like another little, like, sub thing. And I can't remember much about Quarantine. Like, I ain't gonna lie, after I watched Quarantine, I forgot a lot of shit about it, so I was just trying to block it. So it could have been similar to, I don't know. But overall, like I said, and the ending, though, when it gets to the ending, I think that's probably when it gets the most intense. Like, the first one, I didn't think it was that scary at all. But this one, in Record, when it gets to the end, And once again, it's practically the same fucking movie. It just seemed less like a lot more scary. Like it was just like it was there. It was time that it's all amped up. All the cards are on the table. Finale. And of course, if you've seen Quarantine, you know how it's going to end anyways. But still, yeah, I just thought the ending was really cool on this one. And that's another thing too. Like with Quarantine, like when they showed the trailer for Quarantine, they had that last shot in the fucking trailer. And it's a good scene. Like when I saw the trailer, like that was kind of cool. Fuck, it's in the trailer. I'll tell you the scene where basically like she's laying down there, and the camera's like in night vision mode. It's like cocked sideways, I think, or maybe it's just normal. I don't know. Anyway, but it's on the ground, and she's trying to reach for it because at this point the lights are all off. She can't see, but she's just trying to reach for something. Camera's in front of her, and she's reaching for it. Ah! Gets dragged back, right? Awesome scene, but that's the last fucking scene. You can't do that in marketing. I'm sorry, you jackasses. Because as I'm watching a movie now, I'm like, wow, we're past the hour, 15-minute mark, and we're getting close to the end. I know that scene's coming, and it was just, you knew it was coming, whatever. That's even the fucking cover to the DVD for Quarantine. Actually, is that scene. But in this one, I already knew it was going to happen, I guess, because at this point it was a shot-for-shot remake, and I wasn't expecting too much differences. But, we get to that scene, though. I don't know, just everything lit up that scene just a little more, I don't know, a little more tightly, it had a little more suspense to it. I don't know, I can't really go any further than that. Yeah, I enjoyed it, really good. Once again, I'm not saying like this is the greatest one, and it's definitely like one of my favorite found footage movies, but it wasn't bad either. I definitely, I recommend this one. For fans of Quarantine, I do say check it out if you want. I mean, it is pretty much the same fucking movie, but whatever. The one thing I thought was kind of neat with this one, I read that basically in this one, like there was not a whole lot. Like they didn't give them the whole script when they're doing this movie. Like they're just like, here's part. So no one knew like if they was going to bite it or not. I mean, they didn't know who's going to die for, at what point, whatever. They didn't know how it was going to end at all. But that was all. It was all shot in just an actual apartment building. Like, it's not a set at all. Like, this was the actual apartment building they shot in, which I thought was awesome, because in Quarantine, obviously, that's probably just a fucking set. They reconstructed it or whatever. Whereas in this one, it's legit. Like, everything you see is actually there, not constructed at all. Another thing was, there's a scene early on where they're talking, and, they're all, it's before they know what's really going on, they're on the lobby, and this fucking body just falls behind them and splat. And they didn't tell them that was going to happen. Like, they literally didn't say shit about it. So the reaction you see on screen, that was the legit, reaction. It is a good scene, I'm not going to lie. And but once again, I feel like, in Quarantine, the actors, I'm assuming most of them probably saw this one, or at least know about it. So I just feel like, this one just has like that kind of, there's an edge to it that you can actually kind of see. And maybe that's what it was. Maybe because once I didn't know this before. I already watched it. I already came up with my review up here, and then I go out and read the little facts or whatever behind it. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And then the other thing I thought was very interesting was the end of it, when the lights are out. That was legit. Like that was another thing where just like they turn the lights out. The actress, playing, the lead, she has no idea what the fuck's going on. Like she can't see shit. I think that's kind of cool too. I mean, now I'm not sure how they did in Quarantine. I can't really, I didn't go in depth on that because after I watched that, I was trying to forget about it and everything else. But yeah, I just thought, when I started reading, like how they were making like behind the scenes of making this thing, kind of neat actually. I was digging it. So now this one it has 2 sequels coming out soon actually. And of course they did a record 2. Oh, excuse me. They got 2 more coming out. One's a prequel, and I guess the other one's going to be like the final say on it. But I can wrap this up real quick. So yeah, they got 2 more sequels coming up. So hey, if you're a fan of this one and you like part 2, you got 2 more coming out. And of course, it was remade as Quarantine. So yeah, you got that going for it. So yeah, overall, good movie. I liked it, and yeah, I'm gonna try to end it here. We're gonna get 3 fucking segments out of this thing. So that's all I got. Damn good, week for those 2. Definitely like both of them. So all right, well, hey guys, have yourself a good one, and I will just catch you later.